Okay, so this is the forward reverse neutral solenoid out of the backhoe, and it's got two electromagnets on here and then a valve assembly that's controlled by the electromagnets. Um, I have, and I forget if I said in the previous video, I have already, stuck a screwdriver in there, and they do magnetize and everything. But I was curious to see if there was, just a bunch of shit and buildup or whatever, or, fucking busted O-ring or whatever the case is. And this is, I haven't cleaned it or nothing. This is how it came out of there. But I would say that looks excellent. No cause for concern there. They have these nice little nylon backup washers around the O-rings. So from outward appearances, I don't see anything wrong with that. Let's see if I can get this going here. I've got got a power probe that I can apply power to the electromagnets, completely separate of the machine, and got it hooked up to a battery that's 12.5 volts. So not what it would be when it's running, but you would think good enough for testing purposes. And so just looking at this, because I'm obviously not familiar with this, I would assume that the way this works is that we get oil flow in through the center, and then when the valve shuttles one way or the other, it'll expel oil out either this side or this side to make it go forward and back. And so if I energize the coils, you can see the valve is in fact moving. And I guess what's strange is it sounds more when this was in the machine, and you can hear it in my previous video, when it was in the machine, it sounded more energetic in one direction in reverse than it did forward. Now it kind of sounds the same. And unfortunately the switch on this guy is pretty loud in its own right, but hopefully that works for you. I, in person anyways, can very clearly hear the difference between the two. So on one hand, that's cool that there's not a bunch of shit on the valve or whatever, but on the other hand, it, if there was, or an O-ring was torn or something like that, then, at least that would be something, give me a direction to go into. I don't really know where to go from here. I bought and I guess I'll take a video of it here in a bit, but I bought what I thought was a service manual for the machine, and granted it is, but it's more of a take apart and put back together manual than it is a diagnostic manual. And like, it's got a bunch of good information in it, of, torque specs and this and that and the other, and, diagrams of how everything goes together and that kind of stuff. So that's cool. It's a whole lot better than nothing. But at the same time, I don't know if John Deere has like a separate diagnostic manual or something like that, but that's what I would really like to find with this thing is, shit's not happening. What's the first thing to check? And if that's okay, what's the next thing? But I'll get this put back in the machine, and then I will jump it with the power probe in the machine with it running, and we'll see what that does.